I believe we are live. What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast, and we are here with a live stream because Dallas Goedert is staying in Philly. Eagles tight end Dallas Goedert agreed to rework his deal for the 2025 season via Mike Garafolo. It is all over NFL accounts, spam account. Every account is talking about Dallas Goedert. A couple hours ago, they were all talking about George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys, which we'll discuss on this pod. However, the Eagles getting Dallas Goedert back is so big. Absolutely so big, because the offense that won the Super Bowl even more stays the same. The weapons. And for as much as we talk about Dallas Goedert injuries and how much he's utilized on a game-to-game basis, you have Saquon Barkley. Jalen Hurts is going to be utilized in the run game. A.J. Brown, over 1,000. Devontae Smith, over 1,000. And I'm going to mention Saquon Barkley one more time because he's 2K say. However, who led the Eagles in receiving yards in the playoffs? Dallas Goedert. And every Super Bowl team has a weapon that when you try to minimize the A.J. Browns, the Devontae Smiths, the Jalen Hurts, the Saquon Barkleys, or pick your poison, someone else steps up. Dallas Goedert staying is a big deal to me. And we're going to go over some of the finer details. Shout out to everybody in the building. Listen, if you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's easy. It's free. It don't cost a thing. Also, the like button is free. Hit it, especially if you're excited about Dallas Goedert. Let's see what more Mike Garafolo had to say. So Jeff McClain was the first one to tweet this morning. I was in the middle of a Pickens video and some other stuff. And then this broke out, so I wanted to go live. The Eagles and tight end Dallas Goedert have agreed to rework deal for this season, as Jeff McClain stated. The team had trade offers for Goedert during the NFL draft. He was in the loop, but he decided to remain with the team and selflessly restruct and try running it back. So teams were interested in Dallas Goedert, especially if it was only going to be for a fourth-round pick. That was the determined capital needing to give up to get Dallas Goedert. But what happened? He selflessly said, Howie, if you could keep me here after the draft, don't trade me to no bad team for a fourth-round pick. Keep me. And we could figure this out. And Philly Mike's been low-key saying that. I said, there's a chance he's going to get traded during the draft, following the tea leaves. Everybody reporting this, everybody reporting that. But I still said Dallas Goedert is the type of player I see possibly working it out. When he didn't go on draft day, immediately in my video, post-draft, I said that to me lets me know while he was on the trade block and the Eagles were thinking about it, they were always discussing a possible scenario in which he stays in Philly. Mike Garafolo also said this on top of his tweet. The Eagles had to allocate their money across the roster, so they entertained the trade offer for Dallas Goedert, though they always kept the door open for his return. Coaches wanted him back. Goedert preferred to stay in Philly over other possible destinations that were presented. Coaching staff wanted him. He wanted to be an Eagle. And Howie Roseman made it happen. Once again, Dallas Goedert will remain with the Philadelphia Eagles throughout the entire 2025 season. The details haven't came out. Is it a one-year extension? Is it a one-year extension on top of it? Is he going to be here 2025 and 2026? The details have not came out. And when they do come out, of course, you will get them from Philly Mike via a live stream or a video. Remember what we did with Josh Sweat? Josh Sweat was on the trade block for a little bit Not this year. Yeah, prior to this year, I believe. It was either last year or this year. Not this year, but the 2024 season I'm talking about. He had 1 year left in his contract, no guaranteed money. He was in the same boat as Dallas Goedert. The Eagles put out the same type of report where they're looking or feeling out trade offers. What happened, though? Josh Sweat said, you know what? I want to stay in Philly. I want to compete for a Super Bowl. And what did the Eagles do? They reworked this deal, 1 year, $10 million, all guarantee. This is what I think the Eagles did with Dallas Goedert. A 1 year deal for blah, blah, blah million, all of it guaranteed. And you could be like, well, why didn't he just play on this other deal? The cap number would have been bigger, and all of it wasn't guaranteed. There was no more guarantee money on this deal. So this, that, and the third could happen and blah, blah, blah. I just feel like they came together and got it done because we all see a straight shot to running it back. Now, it's not going to be easy, right? The Lions are still a team in the NFC. The Rams have gotten better. Cowboys think they're on the same level as us now because they got George Pickens, and we'll talk about that trade in a little bit. But Dallas Goedert makes this offense better. Now, granted, Saquon Barkley, Lane Johnson, Jordan Mailata, Landon Dickerson, Cam Jurgen, there's enough dogs, offensive line, and our running back to always be a top 3 rushing team in the NFL. I think nobody's going to have more rushing yards than us throughout the Saquon Barkley tenure. But we do got to place Mekhi Becton. We do got to replace Mekhi Becton. And if we had to replace Dallas Goedert, not only would have hurt the pass game because he might not be involved every single game, but Jalen Hurts goes to him in clutch situations. I don't know how many third downs, whether it's a Washington game, in the regular season, in the playoffs, Packers in the regular season, in the playoffs, the 1 or 2 passes to Dallas Goedert for 8 to 12 yards on or 15 yards, they are on key third downs. Key third downs. Security blanket, safe for Jalen Hurts. Third down man, safe for Jalen Hurts. And the guy who led the Eagles in receiving yards during the postseason is back. The Eagles' offense is exactly the same, minus Mekhi Becton. But I do like the options we got, whether it's draftees, Tyler Steen, or the additions we brought in. Someone's going to graduate with honors at Jeff Stoutland University. Mekhi Becton was a throwaway player from the New York Jets. Mekhi Becton was supposed to be a backup swing tackle. Mekhi Becton was only supposed to play if Lane Johnson or Jordan Mailata went down. Pro Bowl right guard. Fred Johnson was a throwaway offensive lineman. Nobody wanted Fred Johnson. You probably can't even name what team he played on prior to joining the Eagles practice squad. I think it's the Cincinnati Bengals. Correct me if I'm wrong if you do know. That being said, guess what? He got a deal with a team that's probably going to start in the 2025 season. So I feel like that if now you're not talking about replacing right guard and tight end, the run game's going to be fine. And the pass blocking is going to still be fine because you now continue to have a threat not only at the wide receiver, quarterback, and running back position, but still at the tight end position. I remember when the Super Bowl finished, Dallas Goedert was talking to Jalen Carter, and he was really talking about running it back. We're talking about minutes after the clock struck 0. Confetti is still falling on Dallas Goedert's head. Confetti. And he's talking about running it back. When he got the news that the Eagles are going to put him on a trade block for a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, he said, bruh, really? I ain't even going, it don't even matter to me. I already been talking about running it back for months. I mean, if a team is willing to trade for me and pay me buku dollars, maybe. But the Eagles left the door open, and he's always been thinking about how can he make it work for both sides. It's not like we didn't pay Dallas Goedert already. 4 years ago, we gave him an extension. What was the Dallas Goedert extension? Hold on. 4-year, $57 million. And now Eagle Al just said it too. 4-year, $57 million we gave him 4 years ago. So we hooked you up 4 years ago with 4 years, $57 million. How much guaranteed? 35 guaranteed. You really want to run it back? Let's do a 1 year, $10 million. I know you just watched the Arizona Cardinals tight end, McBridge, get a big-time bag. But he's young, in his prime, like you were when we signed you to 4 years, $57 million. You even watch older guys who are your age. And Evan Ingram, who's 30. And they signed him for what? Like 12 to 13, 14 mil a year? He's not nowhere near better than Dallas Goedert. Nowhere near better than Dallas Goedert. This guy can play football. This guy's a pass-catching, run-blocking monster. But Dallas Goedert said, you know what? The Eagles drafted me, extended me. Now it's my time to give it back to them, especially because I really believe that this team is going to run it back. Joe M said it's really simple. You keep him until you can replace him. Go Birds. I'm with you. However, it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. Dallas Goedert could have been all about his money and said, bro, if Evan Ingram is getting a 2 year, $20-something million deal, that's where it starts. I don't want 1 year. I want 2. And I don't want 10. I don't want 12. I need at least 14, 15. He could have been about his money. And this is why, if he was about his money, the Eagles probably would have traded him because it's what's best for the player then. And then he would have got extended somewhere for the bag he wants. But Dallas Goedert selflessly said the Eagles took care of me. I could have been more healthy for them. I'm going to take care of them. I really think we're going to run it back. 1 year, 10 mil, take me off the trade block. The exact same thing we did with Josh Sweat. And guess what? When we took Josh Sweat off, look what he did pretty good this year. Only 8 sacks, but he played the run really well. And let's not forget what he did in the playoffs, which matters. Rolla said, when you're talking about teams like the Eagles and the Chiefs, these teams can do whatever they want because they're set up so well. Facts. It seems like we could do whatever we want, but we really don't do whatever we want. We're just set up so well, it's easy to maneuver things. And we're so close with the players, and we take care of our players, that players are willing to work with us. Smitty could have got way more than what he did, but he wanted to stay an Eagle. AJ extended multiple times. Dickerson, Cam, everybody we come to the table, yeah, we give them their bags, but we come to the table early, and it makes it easier to maneuver. Kevin Williams said, what game was it when he kept stiff-arming? It's the Packers game, and I have that one too, but I don't have it. I don't have the clip on hand. I have it in the back, deep in the archives. Playoffs. If you look at the playoffs games, right? Yeah, the Rams game was, the snow effect and whatnot, but that Packers game wasn't starting off too good. Jahan Dotson with the first touchdown. Next thing you know, Jalen Hurts just dumps it out to Dallas Goedert. Throws it to him at the line of scrimmage. Stiffs arm one dude 3 times. Hit him with the 3-peat in the face. dragged this man. First, he stiffed him 3 yards and then pretty much dragged him and said, get on, get on to my back or stay with me. Take him to the tub. Take him to the end zone. Dallas Goedert. See, this is my third time saying it, but I got to say it one more time. He led the Eagles in receiving yards in the playoffs. Add it all up. Big time third down contributor. This is a good move. It's the best case scenario. He's 30 years old. Nobody expected the Eagles to extend him for 2 to 3 years. But we didn't draft a tight end in this upcoming draft. You got some guys on the squad who might have to play due to the fact that he's yet to finish a season. But he always finishes the most important part. And I'm glad the Eagles were able to rework the deal, keep Dallas Goedert, like they did with Josh Sweat, 1 year, $10 million. Now, real quick, I do want to switch over to what happened with the what's it called? Dallas Cowboys. Let me know your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys signing George Pickens as well. Let me hear it in the chat. I want to get your thoughts. He's a good player. Let me start by saying George Pickens, the talent, is really good. This gives the Dallas Cowboys a top 5 wide receiver duo, right? When you look at still AJ and Smitty, number 1, right? You got Chase and Higgins, probably number 2. Puka and Devontae Adams, that's a new tandem that I want to see work out. But Pickens and CeeDee Lamb is, talent-wise, is good. But George Pickens wasn't able to be handled by a headstrong coach in Mike Tomlin. George Pickens is a loose cannon. And players who already have problems going to Dallas, I don't see the problems getting better because it's a circus over there in Dallas led by Jerry Jones. Another thing is, George Pickens is in the last year of his contract. So if the Cowboys don't pay him, it's a rental. He wants to be paid. He's going to want targets. CeeDee Lamb want targets. They might argue about targets, I don't know. On paper, the Cowboys absolutely got better because George Pickens is a wide receiver 1. And I don't know and he's going to be playing wide receiver 2. Or maybe he won't like that and want to play wide receiver 1. I don't know. Don't care. The talent is there. But I got to see how this all works itself out. Guess who George Pickens' agent is? The same agent as Micah Parsons. So now David M, I don't know how to say his last name. David M has 2 players who need to be paid. Not only need to be paid, but need to be top paid-ish. Micah Parsons got to be the number 1 pass rusher out there paid-wise. You got to give Pickens a top 5, top 7 wide receiver deal just off principle of next man up. That's how the NFL beats sometimes. They gonna have paper look good. Paper looked good in 2023 for the Eagles. And we were like, oh, bad. They gonna have to show me something. But I like that. Cowboys pick today to announce they trade for Pickens, a 3rd-round pick and a 2025 or 2026 pick swap. It's a 3rd-round pick. It's a good trade for the Cowboys if it don't blow up. But the same day the Cowboys try to get better, we stay better. You're talking about an offense that was here and here. Like this. If we lose Goedert, goes down here. Pickens, here. But we didn't lose Goedert. So they moved up, but they ain't catch us. You must be crazy. Now, if any Cowboy fans are talking about they got the better duo, they crazy. If they're talking about Pickens is better than Smitty, they crazy. Pickens is a dog. but he's not Smitty. Let's see what y'all were saying about it. Just Relax and said that is interesting trade. Will he be okay being wide receiver too? He has a problem in Pittsburgh, and I think he'll be a problem for the Cowboys. Go Birds. That is what the question will be now. On paper, it looked good. Michael said Dotson will have a career season with this team, doubling Smitty and AJ. I think he's going to have a better season than last year. He's going to grow with the offense. But even though he had a underperforming 2024 with the Eagles as it pertains to production, he only had 216 yards. But the quality of his catches, he had 2 touchdowns in the playoff run. Dotson scored in the Green Bay game where the offense was a little shaky, and he opened up the Super Bowl. When the offense was shaky in the Jacksonville Jaguar game, he opened up that game. Then Hurts got loose to Smitty. He had a big catch against the Cowboys, a big catch against the Rams, I believe. The quality of catches were good. He just didn't get that much opportunities because we ran the ball with Saquon, also with Hurts, and you got 2 1K OE open. Well, you got 2 1K wide receivers. Keisha in the building, what's going on with you? Paper doesn't play on the field. I love that. I love that saying. Peter Riley said we still world champs. Eugene said, or we can go after Jair Alexander. That's what some Cowboy fans are saying, right? Oh, man, Quinyon and Cooper. But guess what? They up for the challenge. Quinyon will stay on the outside and play Pickens. As for CeeDee Lamb, he plays both inside and outside. But when he goes on the inside, he's going to be matched up against one of the exciting whites. I like that. I'm not here to say who's going to win what battle here, what battle there, but I'm confident in our 2 young rooks, our 2 young corners to hold down the fort. Sham said if Tomlin couldn't control Buddy, ain't no way the Cowboys could. Yeah, not only is it a circus in Dallas, they got a first-time head coach in Schottenheimer. Bro don't even know what he's walking into. Bro might be a one and done. Smitty a Heisman receiver. Don't forget it. But I like how the Eagles punched back. Offense could have got worse losing Dallas Goedert, not only in the pass game, but Dallas Goedert is a top 3 blocking tight end in the NFL. You want to be able to run and pass. You want to be able to play formations where the defense is not shooting gaps knowing that you're running or shooting gaps knowing that you're passing. Here's the thing. If Goddard's not on the team no more, well, guess what? If you only have 1 tight end on the field, if it's Grant Calcaterra, the defense knows the Eagles are passing. If it's Harrison Bryant, the Eagles know the team is running. You show your hand. Sub. Okay. Oh, yep, Calcaterra's on the field. They're throwing. Here comes Harrison Bryant. They're running. Now, we will be using 2 tight end sets. That's cool. Calcaterra can catch. The boy had some nice catches in the season for Dallas Goedert when he was injured. But now you can play these formations that look so similar. One of the reasons we caught the Chiefs slipping in the Super Bowl is because we were in the pistol formation multiple times in the Super Bowl, and from that same pistol look, with Dallas Goedert on the field, and AJ and Smitty and blah, 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 blah. In that pistol formation, we handed the ball off to Saquon Barkley once, twice, maybe even 3 times. Before that time, we said, psych, throw the dagger. And it worked like a charm. This is great news. Best case scenario, right after the draft, I made my draft video talking about Makuba and Campbell and Robinson and Munden and all these players, but I had to slip in the very first episode after the draft. I had to slip it in. Dallas Goedert didn't get moved in the draft. That means he's staying. And I said it in a way as they probably were always talking about, if we can't find a spot for you or we could work it out, the number one option has always been to work it out with Dallas Goedert. The tea leaves were being reported. I was following the reported tea leaves before the draft. Dallas Goedert could be traded during the draft. Dallas Goedert could be traded during the draft. He could have been. And I even said before the draft, if he's not traded during the draft, he's staying. And many times I said I just felt like they were always trying to work it out. And because Dallas Goedert is selfless, if you're just getting in here, this is as much of a Dallas Goedert loves Philly as Philly loves Goedert, because it takes two to tango. It's a 1 year, $10 million, like we did with Josh Sweat. Dallas Goedert really thought we were going to run it back. He was saying it minutes after the confetti started falling. Seconds after the clock hit zero, actually. Confetti on his head, he's telling Jalen Carter, we are running it back. Then he gets put on the trade block due to no money, no guarantee money in his contract. He's 30. They don't know if they can rework it. All these tight ends are getting paid this, that, and the third. He said, bro, y'all took care of me 4 years ago with a 4-year extension worth $57 million with 35 guaranteed. I'm 30. I've missed some games. Just break me off a 1 year, $10 million. I don't even care if I get paid less than bum Evan Ingram for the Jags. I'll get paid less than him for 1 year because we really about to run it back. That's a selfless player. That's the type of player that other people play hard for. We got the first super chat of the day. It's been a while, but we got the first one of the day. Shout out to Jack Dwight with the $5 banger.
EAGLES Eagles!
If our Eagles have the number one wide receiver duo, why number 30 in passing offense? I think the Bengals duo is better with 10 playoff teams. With 10 playoff team games, Hurts needs to be better. Jack, they pass the ball more. Listen, I got a 2025. I'm not big with car names, but I got a Camaro. I'm just gonna use the word Camaro. I got a 2025 Camaro. You got a 2025 Camaro. I only have 1,000 miles on it. You got 5,000 miles on it. Both them cars are good. They're great. You just use yours more. That's it. You put AJ and Devontae over there again. And I'm not here to really argue the case. If somebody wants to make a statement that Jamar Chase and T. Higgins as a group are better than A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, that is an argument that I will always fight for my guys, A.J. and Smitty. But I'm not mad at that. I'm not really mad when people say Chase and T. Higgins are the best tandem in the league. I'll still go with my guys, but I ain't mad. That ain't blasphemous. As for your Jalen Hurts got to be better, I mean, what's better than Super Bowl MVP? Some quarterbacks do it when it don't matter. Some quarterbacks do it when it does matter. Some quarterbacks tell their OC, I don't want to run the ball. I want to keep my stats gaudy. I want to do this. I want to do that. Some quarterbacks change the play on crucial thirds down. Some to the wrong thing, to the right thing. We not in a huddle. We don't know what's going on. All I know is this. Burrow is a great quarterback. Dude had great statistics, but didn't make the playoffs due to the defense not being good enough. I guess situational play calling at times. Part of the offense, even though the pass game was terrific, the bottom line is this. If I throw the ball 700 times and you throw the ball 450 times, I'm going to have more yards. I'm going to have more better stats. But it doesn't necessarily equate to winning. Football is the ultimate team sport. You definitely need a team around you, right? Nobody going to do it by themselves. But also, football can be won many ways. And what Jalen Hurts brings, even as a runner, is things that Burrow, Herbert, and them other guys can't do. Just being on the field. The defense is worried about things against Hurts that he's not worried about against so-and-so. And again, I'm not changing I wouldn't give up my wide receivers or quarterback for almost anybody in the league. Now, I'm always going to say Pat Mahomes is Pat Mahomes because the resume and the tape speak for itself, but the resume. But right now, going into a new season, I'm not willing to give up my offense, my trio, wide receivers, or my core four. I'm not willing to give up my core four for nobody. Nobody's core four. And that is running back, receiver, quarterback. I appreciate the super chat. And it's always cool and it's always cool to have pushback. Everybody's opinions matter. Everybody is able to have an opinion. I just think, of course, if my offense is going to be a spread offense, I'm going to throw the ball 50 times a game, then of course we should have more passing yards than the team that throws the ball 20 to 25 times a game. But do you have more total yards? That's the thing. Burrow might throw for 330 yards a game, but they rush for a total of 60. That's 390. Eagles might only throw for 200 yards, but we ran for 250 yards. Talking about Saquon and Jalen. That's 450. What offense is more dangerous? An offense that averages 390, 400 yards, or one that averages 450? Something like that. What also is dangerous is they really don't know when the Eagles are passing or running because we are so balanced. We had success against Burrow last year because they were throwing the ball so much, and we let the pass rush go eat. I ain't mad at the opinion. I just think it's apples and oranges. Joe Burrow had amazing stats last year. Chris Mills with the $2 super chat.
EAGLES Eagles!
He said, man, this is huge for the offense. Dallas Goedert is the man for this. I absolutely agree. It's big-time news for the Eagles offense staying the same. You get Dallas Goedert, who we talking about the wide receivers. Dwight had me talking about the wide receivers. The way the playoffs went, Dallas Goedert led the Eagles offense in receiving yards throughout the playoffs only. He was clutch. He gets hurt sometimes, but if you go back and watch big-time third downs in so many games, the ball gets thrown to Dallas Goedert. He comes up clutch, and it's also huge, and DG's the man for this, as Chris Mills just said, simply because it takes two to tango. This year, Dallas Goedert will be getting paid less than someone like Evan Ingram. Both 30. Ingram is not good. Dallas Goedert is a top 5, top 7 tight end. He definitely top 5, but the production don't really ever show because of the injury. But on a game-per-game basis, top 4 when you include blocking. I love it. But it takes two to tango. Dallas could have really wanted his money, but Dallas was one of the first people on the Eagles mic'd up Super Bowl video, seconds after the clock hit 0, talking about let's run it back. Jack Dwight with another super chat. It's all good, bro.
EAGLES Eagles!
He said, my point is the roster is carrying Jalen Hurts. Let me say it like this, though, a little bit. Let's just say we had Joe Burrow or, because I think Joe Burrow is up there, right? Let's get one of these other pretty passing quarterbacks. And let's talk about that for a second. Justin Herbert can throw as pretty of a ball than all these quarterbacks. When you look at Allen, Burrow, Mahomes, Herbert can throw a ball just as pretty. Maybe you don't want to talk about Herbert, though. Maybe you want to only talk about Mahomes, Allen, and Burrow, or even Lamar. I don't know. I don't know who exactly you're talking about, Jack Dwight, but let's just play the game. We get a different quarterback that can pass the ball crazy. All right? Now, granted, some of our wins, the Eagles are thrown for 350, 380, 400 yards. Whoever the pretty thrower quarterback is just beat Team X, Y, and Z week 3 by passing for 420 yards. Smitty had 112. AJ had 180. Goddard had 70-something. Saquon out the backfield has some passing. Crazy. But the Eagles also threw the ball 45, 50 sometimes. Now, guess what? That's one game. But because the Eagles threw the ball a lot, because they went up and down the field, we put up points, but the defense was on the field a lot. We weren't sustaining long drives. Defense played a lot week 3. Now, if this same recipe is needed to win every game, by week 15, the defense we had that was just starting to play even better and better and better and look really, really well rested might be gassed. That's one scenario. 2, when teams start adjusting to your pass-heavy offense, you got Saquon Barkley back there. That's like having a Camaro back there and not willing to ride it because you just want to pass the ball. So again, when you say Jalen Hurts was carried, who was the best offensive player in the Super Bowl also? All I can say is winning looks different. Every time winning looks different. AJ was talking yesterday about his engagement and all that stuff, and he said we got to evolve. We might have to pass the ball more in 2025 simply because teams might play every game like the Chiefs did in the Super Bowl. And if every team comes out playing us like the Chiefs did, well, Jalen Hurts will, and we'll pass the ball. He's the only quarterback I ever heard say he don't care about his stats. Quarterbacks might not come out and say they care about their stats, but they damn sure don't say they don't care about their stats. And for it to even be more meaningful, you could say, well, he don't care about them because he don't get them. No. When he first came out saying he don't care about stats, it was off one of his best statistical games, Super Bowl 57, where he threw for over 300 yards, outplayed Pat Mahomes, had a great passer rating, and lost the Super Bowl. And then he said the following year, well, I had a very, very good passing game, or I had stats, and I lost. I'd rather win with less stats. But he still contributes in the wins. That Rams game, who opened it up with the 40-yard, 50-yard tub, 40-yard tub? Hurts. Super Bowl, who was the best offensive player? Hurts. 75 yards rushing, a touchdown, and 2 in the air, and 2 something? I'm just saying. The carry notion is crazy to me because he won Super Bowl MVP, the biggest game. Our team is good. Shoot, you know what? Honestly, if that's the case, if you want to say that, if one of these pretty passing quarterbacks did come to the Eagles, right? And they say, you know what? I know I could throw the ball 45 times and have great stats with Goedert, AJ, and Smitty in this offensive line, but we do got Saquon Barkley back there. I only want to throw the ball 20 times. I'm only going to throw the ball 20 times because it's going to be 20 efficient throws, not 20. I'm going to throw the ball 20 to 25 times. It's going to be 20 to 25 efficient throws. Saquon's going to eat, and we going to win games. That quarterback's going to be talked about the same way Jalen Hurts is talking about. But when push came to shove and we had to throw the ball, each game we had to throw the ball, we did. When we had to, we did. We win. I mean, listen, when Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown plays a full game, the Eagles never lost all year long. When Jalen Hurts plays start to finish with A.J. Brown, the Eagles went undefeated in 2025. Falcons game we lost, A.J. wasn't there. Bucks game we lost, A.J. wasn't there. Commanders game we lost, Jalen wasn't there. The rest is history. I don't like to change up winning recipes, even though you do have to change it up. You got to evolve in the NFL. And so we will. How we evolved in 2025, we'll see. Ultraman with the $5 super chat.
EAGLES Eagles!
Nobody's better than AJ and Smitty as a duo. We are run first team, but when we were throwing 2 years ago, nobody could stop us. You're right. And even still, we are run first team. Think about this. We are a run first team. But we have two 1K wide receivers. We are a run first team, but we still make sure our wide receivers both get a K apiece. Easy. Smitty missed games, AJ missed games. And they both got at least 1,000 yards while being the team that runs the most. No team ran more. No quarterback threw the ball less. No quarterback threw the ball less, but our wide receivers eat. Eat. I'm with you, Ultraman. 1,000%. And again, if the evolving the Eagles offense do this year is throwing the ball more because more teams play us like KC, then we will cross that bridge. But I'm willing to bet on my guy, Jalen Hurts, to be able to do it. Dre Dizzle with the $5 super chat as well.
EAGLES Eagles!
He said, what's cracking? We are good at tight end now. Goddard are about to stiff arm the whole league. Yeah, since he got good wide receivers, but we got the best duo and the best wide receiver trio. Yes, because poo-poo on Jahan Dotson's production. But again, it's the production because of what we do as a passing team. But really, if you ask AI, the same way people say, put any quarterback on the Eagles and he'll throw for this X, Y, and Z. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not. It probably is true. But by throwing any quarterback on the Eagles might be able to throw for X, Y, and Z while Jalen Hurts didn't. But throwing for X, Y, Z still might not equal more wins than what the Eagles had with Jalen Hurts. Because as you're throwing more, you're taking away from 2K say. And as you're throwing more, you're becoming more predictable. But anyways, for all the people out there that say, ask any quarterback, ask any wide receiver. Let me start over. Put any quarterback on the Eagles and they can throw for X, Y, and Z. Well, guess what? Put this wide receiver crew, AJ, Smitty, and Dotson. Ask any quarterback. You got to play one game. What trio wide receivers you want? I would bet my bottom dollar. If you ask Pat Mahomes or Burrow or Allen, give me a trio. Maybe Burrow stays with his because they got chemistry. But a trio, and again, I'm not mad at anybody who argues Chase and Higgins, AJ and Smitty. But who's the Cincy's next guy? Dotson. Just he's the fifth playmaker on the team. Of course he's going to get less production. At the end of the day. Mahomes would love to play with the trio that we got. So would Allen, so would Herbert, so would Lamar. They would take this Eagles trio any day, any day. Well, then why ain't we what you mean why we ain't doing nothing with it? We still might not be passing the best, but we the best. Winning looks different. AJ understood it. Took him a little bit, but he understands it. Super Bowl champ. I'm with you, Dre. Alex L with the $5 super chat.
Eagles! Eagles!
The ultimate goal for each season is to win the Super Bowl, not having the most yards or TDs. Winning is winning. You're right. And again, a lot of the talk on social media, Twitter, and all that crazy stuff. There's some good stuff that you can talk about on Twitter, but it is a crazy world over there. I feel like some of these guys are Dak Prescott fans, or Josh Allen fans, or Joe Burrow fans, or Lamar Jackson fans, or Justin Herbert fans, or Tua Tagovailoa, whatever you want to go, because they just, that's all they care about, is what their passing stats or what their quarterback stats look like. Yes, it's cool. And again, here's my thing. When people talk about Patrick Mahomes' stats, I don't poo-poo it because it's great stats that result in winning. But when great stats result in losing, you have to let them stats go and find out what we need to do to turn whatever stats into winning. Simple and plain. Joe Burrow and the Bengals are going to think all offseason, yo, you know what? We need to get another 40-plus touchdown, almost 6,000-yard passing season. No, they're not talking about that. They're talking about how the hell can we win more games and get to the playoffs. That's the only thing they care about. Burrow and the coaching staff are not talking about how can we duplicate this. What was Burrow's numbers? Let me see. They're not talking about duplicating Burrow's numbers. They're talking about what can we do to help Burrow, take some statistics from Burrow by getting talent on his team to help us win some games. The dude had 4,918 yards, 43 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and 108.5 rating. It was his best season of his career. So Joe Burrow's best season of his career resulted into no playoffs. But all the other seasons, when he had good years, but not his best, somehow they did better. I don't know. My calculator is busted. I don't know what's going on. My calculator is busted. Lord have mercy. Shout out to everybody who dropped the supers. Hit the like button. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. We only got 202 likes. We got 202 likes. Let's get that up. We got over 500 people in here. Dallas Goedert reworked his deal and is staying with the Eagles. It takes two to tango. He definitely took a very team-friendly deal. He's all about the run-it-back culture, and I love it. We got over 500 people in here. Let's hit that like button. It's free. It's easy. It don't cost a thing. And if you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We either do a video or a live stream almost every day breaking down the Eagles, news, rumors, opinions, film breakdown, blah, 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 blah. The real fact said he's not the fifth option. He's the sixth option. Yeah, you're right. I just randomly said fifth. But if we're talking about Jahan Dotson, right? Skill position. It goes Saquon, AJ, Smitty, Goddard. That's four. And you're like, well, there's Dotson. No, Jalen Hurts as a runner. You really can't count the quarterback passing in it because they're passing through these people. But how the coaching staff draws the plays up, it goes Saquon, AJ, Smitty, Goddard, Hurts his legs, then whoever is wide receiver 3 on the Eagles. This is why I'm never like, we have to have the best wide receiver 3 in the league. We have to have a dog at wide receiver, even though I think Dotson is the best version of a wide receiver 3. but we don't throw the ball to him that much. Now, here's the thing. If your wide receiver 3 is so trash, there's going to come times in certain games where you do have to throw the ball to wide receiver 3, and you do need him to make them plays, as Jahan Dotson did versus the Jags, as Jahan Dotson did in the Packers playoff game, in the Super Bowl, in a Cowboys game, in this, in that, in this, and that. So it's good to have it, and we do. Andrew said taking a $4 million pay cut, that's a tough pill to swallow. Not if it results into your second Super Bowl. Again, Dallas Goedert is showing that he's being very, very selfless. Selfless. Dallas, selfless Goedert. Taking a big-time decrease in pay to run it back with the Eagles. Best case scenario. Absolutely love it. Yes. What they did is they reworked his deal and gave him a 1-year, $10 million deal. He took a $4 million pay cut. Well, I don't even know the real terms. I just know that when Eagle Al came in, he said that it was a 1-year, $10 million deal. I figured it would be similar to what the Eagles did with Josh Sweat when he had 1 year remaining and they just reworked his deal. I haven't been on, Twitter's up now here, but I haven't really looked at any of the new stuff to see exactly what transpired. But still, yeah, they basically gave him the Josh Sweat deal. It's a huge dub. Nina Alston in the building. Lord Vaughn said, but want to diss the Super Bowl MVP. I don't know why people want to do it. Eagle Owl said, do anybody remember we had Quez who came up small? He might be the reason we lost the Super Bowl last time. Definitely could. And that's what I'm talking about. Again, to get to the Super Bowl, wide receiver 3 might not be your end be all, might make or break the team. Our wide receiver 3 might not ever make or break the team simply because he's playmaker 6 on offense. However, Jahan Dotson caught a pass that changed the game early in the Super Bowl. Watkins dropped the pass that changed the game in the Super Bowl late. The quality of catches that Jahan Dotson displayed in 2024 was all worth the 3rd-round pick. All worth it. And he won't be on the Eagles next year. I guarantee. He's going to have a decent year to where some team's going to pay him wide receiver 2 money. But the quality of catches was worth the 3rd-round pick. And simply, when he was put in a situation that he doesn't get targets, but he needs to make the most of them, especially later in the year, he absolutely did. Which King said, is Justin Simmons coming here or nah? I don't know. With us picking up Andrew Makuba in the 2nd round, my take with Justin Simmons was if we weren't able to get a safety early in the draft, you spin the block on him, especially with him wanting to play for Philly, but I doubt it. I would doubt it. Because, again, now you're looking at the safety room as McCool, and, you got Sidney Brown still. You still got Lewis Sign. You got some pieces at depth who also are still going to try to fight to start. I believe Makuba's going to be the guy for the Eagles, but they will at least give Sidney Brown a fair chance to win it. They're not going to just throw him to the side. They're going to give Sidney Brown every opportunity to go out there and show that he could be this safety alongside of Reed Blankenship, who I would love to hear soon we get an extension for. I'm big on us needing to extend Reed Blankenship for at least another year or 2, 3. We extended him once, a 1-year deal. I would do it again, but for more than 1 year this year. Kadeem Snow said, "Don't sleep on Ed Reed Blankenship." Yeah. Hey, Kadeem, I don't know if you watched my video I dropped yesterday, but that was a big topic. Needing to extend Reed Blankenship. Dude had 4 interceptions last year, 78 total tackles, 6 passes defended, always playing in the right spot in Fangio's defense, does the little things, a leader. You heard Slay, like whether he's taking a shot or not. Slay knew that the guys look up to Reed in there. The Eagles extended Reed Blankenship a year ago simply because he was still trying to find his way. A lot of people try to give up on him off that 2023 season. If you watch Philly Mike, I got YouTube shorts and videos saying, man, let him rock. You know, that whole defense was booty juice in 2023, blah, 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 blah. Had a great outing in 2024. Literally outplayed the 1-year extension. But I don't see Reed Blankenship as a guy who's trying to break the bank. I don't think he'll be as selfless as Dallas Goedert, because Dallas Goedert already got paid one time, though. Let's make no mistake about it. Dallas Goedert 4 years ago signed a 4-year, $57 million deal. So Goddard's like, hey, the Eagles took care of me. Now I'm taking care of the Eagles. Eagles took care of me. Now I'm taking care of the Eagles as we try to run it back. But Reed Blankenship, I could see a 3-year, 3-year, $21 million. 3-year, 22 million. 3-year, $20 million. I'm cool with that. With that being said, we've been live for almost an hour. Listen, I was in the middle of doing a video, and it was probably going to be released around 1:30, 2 o'clock. Now I stopped and did an hour live stream, so I don't know if I'll finish the video for today or do it tomorrow. But it's definitely interesting. There's a guy on the Eagles roster. Not nobody crazy important, but there's a guy on the Eagles roster right now that might not be on the roster because of one of the rookies. We're going to talk about that and more. We'll break down a little bit more about the Pickens deal, blah, blah, blah. I already talked a little bit about Pickens on here, but yeah, so I was about halfway done with my video before we got the breaking news, and I was just going to finish the video and put my talking in there. But when it's breaking news, I like to talk with y'all, read y'all comments, and see how y'all feel as much as I feel. LG said, they said Pickens going to play out his rookie deal and test free agent next year. That's crazy then. 1-year rental for a 3rd-round pick? That's wild. Joe said, thank you for another great show. Appreciate you for coming through. Rolla said, look, there's no perfect roster in the league, but when you compare the Eagles roster to the vast majority of the other teams, it's not comparable. That is some truth right there. That is truth right there. Let's hear it in the chat.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
For those who watch my live play-by-plays, I can't wait to get back to this.
Love is everywhere.
We love the flower girl for sure.
Keep that roots going, baby! Roots go 3! 1, 2, 3, roots!
Definitely can't wait to get back to that as the Eagles will open up Thursday night, September 4th against, don't know for sure, Adam Schefter might have leaked it yesterday, I don't know. But when in doubt, go Birds. And, oh yeah, May 14th, though, is the schedule release. Listen, shout out to Jack Dwight dropping super chats today. But he was coming hard today. I don't know, Jack. You becoming crazy a little bit. But we still gonna read them and we gonna discuss it. You know, all fair and love and war for our birds. Jack Dwight with the $2 super chat. Goddard couldn't find bigger money, not selfless. I will definitely have to disagree with that. Absolutely. Have to disagree with that. Let me exactly pull up what Evan Ingram is. Now, Jack Dwight, you don't gotta super chat that, right? Pause. Thank you, Lord Vaughn. You don't have to super chat your answer. But Jack Dwight, who would you take for 1 year? Dallas Goedert or Evan Ingram? It was the Broncos that paid Evan Ingram. Who would you take? Jack Dwight, let me know. Let me know, Jack. I need to hear. You don't got to super chat it, dog. It's all good. But you said Dallas Goedert couldn't find bigger money. He's not being selfless. The Denver Broncos signed tight end Evan Ingram to a 2-year deal worth $23 million, including $16.5 million in guarantees. So, Evan Ingram, who's 30 years old, by the way. You can't use Dallas Goedert's age there. You can use the injury history a little bit. But Evan Ingram is nowhere near the all-around tight end as Dallas Goedert. And he inked a 2-year, $23 million deal with $16.5 guaranteed. Granted, now mind you, the Eagles weren't asking for, at least per reports, we were only asking for a fourth or something like that. Nothing happened because deep down, both sides wanted to work it out. You can't tell me that Evan Ingram signs 2 years, 23. That is what, 11 and a half? 11 and a half per year, 16.5 guaranteed, and Goddard couldn't find more than 1 year, 10 mil? Nah, it's his love for the birds. It's his love for the birds. It's his love for the birds, and he knows he could run it back. This is why Dallas Goedert stayed. Now listen, Jack Dwight, I appreciate the super chats, and I like the back and forth, but I need to hear your rebuttal to that. You taking you think Evan Ingram deserves more money than Dallas Goedert then? Pretty much. King DV, what's going on with you? Michael Young said DG all day, you already know. Michael said Commanders had the easiest schedule last season. They have the second hardest this season. Yeah, let's see them run it back. Let's see they do what they do now. With that being said, I've been live for an hour. If you are just getting in the building, well, sorry to say, I'm about to get up out of here. But that probably means you don't have the notification bell turned on. You're not really subscribed or something along the line. Because if you like the video, subscribe to the video, turn on the notification bell, you'll be here. We were live talking for an hour. Even someone like Jack Dwight, who don't agree with Philly Mike, I still like hearing any and all thoughts. As Jack Dwight drops another $5 super chat. Hey, Jack, I told you you could just comment your answer to that regularly, and I still would have read it. Goddard wanted longer term injury history, had teams bailing. Yeah, but I'm saying though, you said he couldn't get more. See, again, I'm going off what your first one said. Goddard couldn't find bigger money, not selfless. So that means you're saying he couldn't find bigger money than 1 year, 10 mil. Shoot, 2 years is not that long term, but 2 years is longer than one. And again, we just heard Broncos signed tight end Evan Ingram to a 2-year, 23, which is more than 10. It's 11 and a half per year. And he got 16.5 guaranteed. So, again, they're both 30 years old. Evan Ingram has been injured too. Maybe not as much as Dallas Goedert. But I like the pushback. And in certain areas, if I feel, but all I got to say is any team, any league that's about to pay Evan Ingram 11.5 a year and 16.5 guaranteed for 2 years, Goddard could have at least got that. It ain't even that much. He could have got that. But I agree. Long term, at 30 with injury history, nobody's paying no one's giving Goddard a 3+ year deal. I absolutely agree with you, Jack Dwight. Nobody will give Dallas Goedert a 3-year deal. They might even been nervous to give him a 2-year deal. But I know there were teams willing to pay him more than what the Eagles did. Simply put, Evan Ingram, bro. I'm sorry to keep bringing it up, but Evan Ingram is nowhere near the player Dallas Goedert is. Ken Mallet, appreciate the love. Channel member in the building. Keisha also, channel member in the building. Chiquita's up in here as well. King DV said Ingram doesn't deserve anything more than Goddard. The injuries and loyalty played a factor. Injuries definitely did, and that's where I would agree with King DV and also Jack Dwight. But loyalty played a factor as well. 1 year, $10 million is the best case scenario for the Eagles. Be on the lookout for that Reed Blankenship extension. And with that note, shout out to Kevin Williams. Gabe said, Ertz already signed with the Redskins. The Commanders, yes. Sorry if I missed June. Yes, Ertz is off the board, and we wasn't getting him back anyways. Appreciate the love, Chiquita. Peter Riley in the building. Thomas Young said, go Birds. I go by Philly Mike. Still be on the lookout because maybe around 3-ish, 3:30, 4 o'clock, another Philly Mike video. Maybe we'll mention this, but it won't be just about this. Might come out. But definitely, again, Philly Mike normally drops videos between, at the earliest, 12, and at the latest, it's a hard schedule. It's a big range. Between 12 and 5 is normally when I try to drop my video, depending on my schedule. But like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell. I drop more videos than I do live streams, but I will start to go live a lot more. And the more y'all got notification on, the more y'all come into the live stream. Y'all watch the videos like crazy. If y'all start coming into the live stream with the notification, we'll definitely start doing this more. Brian Weeks with the $5 super chat. Let's get some Eagle love before we get up out of here.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagle!
He said, so glad that Dallas Goedert will be here. No tight end can block like he can on this roster. Exactly. And I spoke about that throughout this show. Dallas Goedert leave, and you could say, okay, well, Calcaterra can catch. Not as good as Goddard, but he got some good catching abilities. And Harrison Bryant can block. Not as good as Goddard, but he got some good blocking abilities. But then you start to tip your hand to the defense. Oh, shoot, Calcaterra's in the game. The Eagles are passing. Up, now they're bringing in Harrison Bryant. The Eagles are running. When Goddard's in the game, you can have the same formation and pass and run out of it simply because Goddard is a do-it-all tight end. And he still catches better than Calcaterra and blocks better than Bryant. Example, in the Super Bowl, we did that pistol formation 3 or 4 times. But 3 of them, the pistol formation with everybody similar on the field, Goddard, A.J. Smitty, we handed the ball to Saquon, 2 yards. Couple plays later, did it again, 3 yards. Next quarter, did it again, 3 yards. Next couple plays later, did it again. Dagger. Goddard being selfless, helping the team out. Best case scenario for the Eagles. And although he missed out on some money, it might be the best case scenario for him if he ends up running it back like he thought we were going to be able to do. I'm with you, Brian Weeks. Shout out to Junito Crespo with the $20 banger.
E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagle!
Appreciate you. You did ask a question about Zach Ertz, and although I do love Zach Ertz, big time contributor in our first ever Super Bowl. You know, he's with the Commanders, and I'm super glad we got Dallas Goedert. But he dropped a super sticker saying victory, and this is now keeping the offense as similar as 2024, which we had a big victory in. Let's run it back in 2025. Appreciate the $20 super chat, JC. MVP of the chat. With all that being said, make sure you hit this notification bell, especially you, JC, so you could be in the live show early on. I know a lot of y'all, some of y'all just got up in here about 10, 15 minutes ago, but we've been live for about an hour and 13 minutes. Love y'all to death. Like, subscribe, but more importantly, for just this notion, turn on the notification bell so you know when we drop videos or go live. Go Birds. Goddard, back like he never left. Eagles, still the best team in the NFC. Let's run it back. Until next time, y'all know what time it is. We out.
This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike. Talking sixes in the bird gang, that's our life. Competition, we ain't scared, yeah, that's what we like. Win or lose, you know we showing up and we gon' fight. You see we strive for the sky every day that go by. And every single week we screaming fly, Eagles fly. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah. This is Philly Talk with Philly Mike, yeah.
Peace.